walk us through your thought process for coming back. I know it's now at the college level, it's kind of an every year thing that guys have to decide, but walk us through your thought process and how you determined to come back.
Really, it was really just a relationship with KP. Like that was the biggest thing. Like last year, I really didn't have a very good relationship with the staff, so I know like this year, like I needed to have that because at the end of the day, if someone doesn't believe in you and they don't fully trust in your ability, then like it's just gonna be hard for you. So I just feel like the relationship I built with KP was like the most important thing, and that's what drew me to come back, honestly.
How did that start? Like, did you know him previously, or was this the first real conversations you had with him?
This was the first real conversations I've had with him, but just talking to him daily, like him just having a conversation with my mom, like that was big. Like just him like wanting my mom to be involved, just wanting my family to be involved, just always just being so genuine, like that just meant a lot. And like you really don't find that in a coach. Like, and I was even trying to I couldn't find one bad thing about him. And like I was looking for things like nobody's ever told me bad. So like it was I don't know. It felt too good to be true at first, but it's all honestly.
Yeah, it's funny. That's kind of one of the things that when Kenny Payne comes up, you know, it's across the board. Everyone's like, there's probably only one person in the world who Kentucky fans and Louisville fans all love, and it's Kenny Payne. So he's got to be doing something right if both fan bases love him. Right. What about the rest of the staff? When you saw, obviously, for you being a guard and seeing Nolan Smith being added to the staff, and you also being a guy who grew up in the triangle down in North Carolina, obviously, I'm sure you're very familiar with him. Yeah. What was your reaction to seeing his name on the staff?
Man, having Nolan come was big, like, because me growing up, I was a Duke fan, so it's crazy just for me to watch him develop, watch him play, and then he ended up being my coach, and just so when I'm going to be in the gym with all the time is like, that's just big, like, that's different, like. So he's more so like of a big brother to me. Like he's still like kind of in my generation. He's young. Like, so like, I feel like that's very important. Like I was glad that he was announced on staff with Danny and Josh. They recruited me when Josh was at Oregon and when Danny, he was at Wake Forest. So like, it was just the staff that he put together, that KB put together was amazing. Like just having two guys that already recruited me and then somebody who I played against this year that knows my game, that I can learn from because he's a guard also. Like that was big.
I'm trying to do the math here. So you probably would have been what, like 10, maybe 9 or 10 when Nolan was playing at Duke?
Yeah, 9 or 10. Yeah.
That's crazy. So it's gotta be, I mean, you saw him on TV, man. That's really cool. Full circle.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy for sure.
Well, I know, you know, every team is different. And, you know, I've been around Louisville long enough for there to have been, there was one coaching change, obviously, from the interim David Padgett to Chris Mack. And even the year before that, when David Padgett kind of took over last second before that season. And it's always interesting how guys either kind of go off and they talk to their families, or maybe they've got a high school coach or an AAU coach or someone that they really rely on. But I'm always curious how much you guys all talk to each other. And obviously a lot of the guys are back this season. Like, how much conversation was there with guys like Sid and JJ Traynor and Rose and all those guys as you were trying to work through what you were going to do for next season?
Man, it was a lot of talk, like amongst us as a group about what we wanted to do. Like we wanted to stay and play with each other, but we all felt like it had to be the right situation. And like when everybody had those individual meetings with KP, like we all like felt the same. Like we felt like we were going to be around somebody really genuine, somebody that's going to be in the gym with us as a head coach, somebody that really knows the game and wants the best for us and feels like we can play at the highest level. So just like us having all those conversations together, like it really just, and everybody felt the same way. Like that was the biggest piece. Like if everybody didn't feel the same way, like it wasn't nobody that, even the guys that met with KP and didn't come back, they still had like great conversations with him. And like, it was just all worth it, like honestly, to say.
What's that conversation like when because you, especially you, I mean, you've always been on winning teams. And I know anyone who gets to this level of college basketball has, for the most part, been on winning teams because of the talent level, both that you guys have, but usually you've got at least a couple of good teammates through high school, through AAU. You're used to winning. And obviously for you at the JUCO level too, you're used to winning at a very high level.
Right.
How difficult was last season for you in terms of just getting through it and learning about yourself?
Man, it was difficult, honestly, like just from, like you said, like being a winner. And then honestly, with me just playing off the ball so much, like not having the ball in my hands, not being able to be the playmaker that I am, that I really didn't get to show. Like I was able to show it in spurts, like, but just not being able just to play my game, like just make plays, not just for myself, but for others. Like I love doing that. Like I love seeing my teammates hit big shots. Like I love just setting my teammates up so it can be easier on them, and just trying to navigate and still play. Like this year, like not having that role was different, and like it was something that I haven't went through before, but it was all a learning experience though. Like I learned like how to play more off the ball, like how to be in better situations. So I'm not gonna say like it was totally bad, but it was just a lot to get used to. But I feel like I had a decent year, and like with the position I was in, I feel like I made the best out of what I could, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that's true. First and foremost, that's definitely true, and a lot of respect for guys who you fought through a season together, and obviously a lot went on. Again, speaking to the experience of being around this program for almost a decade now, a lot of guys have had to go through a lot of stuff that had nothing to do with the team, which is always frustrating for people to see from afar. But I thought it was one of the more interesting offseason things was you tweeting out like, "Hey man, I'm a point guard. I am not a shooting guard. Don't get it twisted. This is my role." Where do you feel like that went wrong? Like, why do you feel like you were not given the opportunity that you wanted to have to play point guard?
We just had a lot of veteran leadership. Like Jared was amazing. Like he was one of the best leaders I've ever been around. Like one of the best, like just like floor generals like I've been around, him and Mason Faulkner. So like it was just hard for me to and it's only 40 minutes at one position, so it was hard to just squeeze me in there at times. So like I understand, and like those are those guys last year, and I feel like they need to go out with the bang. So and the coaching staff felt the same way. So like I totally understood it. At the beginning of the season I did it, and that was some growing I had to do, but like throughout the season, like I grew and I understood like it's I'm gonna be in a different situation. Like you gotta be able to navigate and get through it. So just having those two guys just being older and already played so much at this level, at the highest level, like so I just felt like it was just meant for them to go out there last year and play as much as they could, and like just be that role and that leader for the team. And it kind of just made it easier for me because it was going to be my first year of Division I, so I was able to not have to think so much. I could just go out there and just play some games. So I feel like that's really the reason why.
Yeah. And like you said, maybe, in the long run that will help you when you get back having the ball in your hands, understanding what the guy who's also in the backcourt with you and what the wings are thinking a little differently. So I'm so curious because, and I'm not asking for state secrets here, but KP just he's not a big talker. He's not going to, he's not going to go out on the radio or on TV. He's not going to talk a whole lot about it, but I'm just like, I'm curious, like the conversation that you had. So they're saying to you, what they're like, you're the point guard, you're the guy, you're going to have the ball in your hands. Like, what was that conversation like?
Yeah, the conversation was really like they're gonna be dependent on me. Like I'm gonna have to be that leader. I'm gonna have to be that leader, that, like I said, that point guard, like the guy that's gonna be like an extension of a coach on the floor. Like, and I felt like that's what I wanted to hear. Like, and I didn't hear that coming in. I just came here off the strength that it was Louisville, like it was in the ACC, like it was a big time program. So, but yeah, like those conversations when it's something like the way I wanted it to. Like I'm gonna be that guy. Like I'm gonna have the ball in my hands. It will be times I'm gonna be off the ball, but I don't want to be on the ball the whole game. Like I know it's gonna be another guard with me. Like he has to be on the ball too, and it's easier. Like nobody wants to be on the ball. Like especially at this day and age, like most teams are playing two guards. So and it's easier. Like he'll be able to set me up. I'll be able to set him up. But but yeah. that's really how the conversation. I'm gonna be the lead guard. Like I'm gonna have to be a leader. I'm a senior, so they're gonna be dependent on me.
I'm curious. Last couple things for you, then, El, and I appreciate your time so much. One of them is kind of building off that. So, how does the COVID year work for guys who signed? Like, do you get another year, or is this your last year of D1 eligibility?
Yeah, I actually have another year. So technically this past year was my sophomore year technically.
Okay. All right. So you still have 2 more, but obviously if things go really well for you, I'm sure you've got large plans here. Of course, that's how it works.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you make of this roster coming back and some of the new guys? Like, you've got Kamari Lands coming in, you've got Devin Ree, Brandon Huntley Hatfield. It's a nice mix of guys coming in. What are your thoughts on those guys? And I guess with them joining the core that is already coming back.
Yeah, I feel like we have a really good core coming back with Sid, Mike James, Jalen, Rose, JJ. Like, I feel like we have a good core. Like, this is going to be Mike's first year playing. But he's looking really good, like really good. Like before I went home, like he was dunking again. Like he's shooting the ball extremely well. Like he's been in the gym. Sid is working on his game, expanding his range. JJ is working on being on the perimeter, expanding his game as well. Like Jalen's getting back right, getting his knee back right. Like JJ's been in the gym working. Like I feel like we have a good core, like that's been in the gym, that's been played, that's been around last year, and that's gonna be good. And then with the new guys coming in, like Kamari's young, super talented, has a lot of potential. Brandon as well, and also with Devin Reese. So I feel like we just got a really good core. We got young guys, we got older guys. Like I feel like it's really going to gel together. And then whoever else comes along, like I feel like, and KP's not going to bring anybody in here that doesn't want to work, that doesn't want to play at the next level, that doesn't want to win. So I just feel like he's going to just continue to bring around good guys, and we're just going to build off what we got this year and what we got coming in. I feel like we're going to have a good season, honestly.
I had Danny Manning on last week, and he said there's going to be times when Kenny Payne is the head coach at Louisville that Louisville's lineup has the point guard and 4 dudes who are like 6'8" or taller on the floor together. What are your thoughts on that? If anyone has ever actually stood next to L, like obviously you're not a short guy, you're playing Division I basketball, but on a team like that, man, you're going to be a shrimp compared to some of these dudes.
A shrimp, honestly. Standing next to Jalen and Sid and Brandon, like it's different. Like it's different coming from junior college. Like the level of size, like the level of athleticism is very different. Like how strong guys are. Like so, just having that many guys on the floor that can do everything that I can do at their height. I mean, that's crazy. Like, and it's gonna be very different. Like very different.
All right. Well, El, I got 2 final questions for you. Okay. One is, do you have a wish list? There's a couple more scholarships out there. Is there somebody out there that you're hoping that will join this team, or maybe a position or a type of player that you think could really help this group that you already have?
Oh yeah, I really want Tyrese and Imani to come. Like I feel like those would be really good pieces to add. Tyrese, he was really good at Iowa State. He played on the ball a lot, but I know he can really score the ball as well. So. And I can too, so we could play off each other more. He could be on the ball, I could be off the ball. I could be on the ball, he could be off the ball. Like he averaged 5 assists, like so. He's a table setter, like get guys involved too. So I feel like he would be really good. And then with Imani, like I feel like guys really didn't really get to see him like play to his level of potential and be as good as he really could. Like he had a different role at Memphis, but I feel like him coming here, like he'll be able to be that scorer that he is, like get cooking, like. And just be that guy like that can really get going as well. So I feel like those 2 guys that I feel that would be huge pieces for us, and I feel like it could put us over the top, honestly.
Yeah, that's a couple of really talented guys. We'll see how that all plays out. Last thing then, El, I'm going to throw you a curveball here. Okay.
All right,
I gotta know. You've now experienced Louisville for what? Almost a year since you moved here. Do you have a go-to meal? And if so, what's your spot and what's your order? I
love Sapporo, hibachi chicken rice. Like I love Japanese food. Like it's not too much. It's not too different, but like it's really good. Like I eat there a lot, honestly. So Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good choice. There's some famous or infamous, depending on who you talk to, Donovan Mitchell, Sapporo stories. So the big time orders that he used to put down, that guy could eat. So there you go. That's a good choice. Well, Al, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy. Best of luck to you guys as you get workouts going. I assume, let's see what it's the 17th when we're recording. You're probably pretty close to everybody coming in, right?
Yeah. Everybody should be here on the 30th. Yeah. Everybody should be on the 30th.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, cool. Well, congratulations on, on fighting through last season, and all the best to you here as you get ready for year number 2.
Man, I appreciate you.